Hi everyone. I'm very sorry for my delay, but please bear with me. It's quite a stressful time, or you can say quite a busy time. So, usually I wake up in the morning and I'm finishing some of my work related to Chess Base India. And then at around 8 o'clock, I have this stream with the stand up comedians Samai, Biswa, Vaibhav. Yesterday it was Tanmay. And it's planned like 1.5 hours, but it usually extends to something like uh, 2 hours or 2.5 hours, and then it ends at around 10:30, and I quickly get ready, have something to eat, and somehow I'm not able to make it by 11. I hope you can bear with a small delay because you have more content to look at. That's also interesting thing that we are doing in the morning. So please bear with me on that. I don't like to be late. You know that I have done 37 sessions where the maximum I was late was by 2 to 3 minutes or sometimes five. So okay, welcome to everyone who's here. Wonderful to see you all. And I really feel very happy when I see so many people coming to this session because it's not about entertainment. If you're looking for entertainment, then there are many other shows or many other things that are being done by Chessbase India and also on several other channels. But what we are doing is very unique. We are learning how to become opening experts. And this is not for everyone because sometimes it gets very technical. Yet you come, you sit here and you learn. This is really fantastic. So, a warm welcome to all of you. And what is today's plan? What are we going to do today? Today we are going to learn about the final chapter of Nimzo, and also we are going to revise everything that we have learned. I believe in revision because it kind of solidifies your knowledge. I could ask all of you to look at the streams again, like from first, but I know that you're not going to do that. Uh, Even if you do, I would still like to revise this today. It'll just help you. So let's begin with what is it that actually we have missed out until now is after d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4. If you think about it, we've covered bishop g5, we've covered a3, we've covered f3, we have covered queen c2, we have covered e3. So what is left now actually? Anyone? What's the move that is left? Okay, a very big shout out to all of you who are here. Sahil Bhatt, Practical Thinking, Swayam Ubale, Akshat Nawani, Fani Verma, Atharva Shirsagar, S. Murugan, Mukul Raj, Preet Gandhi. He says he watches the stream 3 times in a day. That's like it's like spending 6 hours of your time on the stream. Wonderful. Rishi Chadda, all of you, welcome. Tinku Saha, Krishna Saraswat, Mayur Gondalekar, who says he's been zoning out a bit. Okay, are you tired or something? Shubham Srivastav, welcome. Sumed, welcome to the show. Sumed, so great to have you all. And yes, knight f3 is the correct, and g3. I think that's the only thing left. Yeah, that you play knight to f3, and once you play knight f3, it's like a flexible move. You play knight f3 and you say to black, I'm not yet decided. Maybe I'll play queen c2. Maybe I'll play bishop g5. Maybe I'll play e3. You tell me what you want to do. Based on your decision, I will take my decision. And of course, g3. So, in order to keep everything sort of one, I recommend the move c5. You hit the center and you ask white what is it that you want to do, And white says, okay, I want to play e3. Then you can continue with what move? Let me see if you guys can get these transpositions properly sorted in your mind. What do you do if the opponent plays e3 in this position? Yeah, yeah, g3. Okay, Mayur says it's a bit theoretical, sometimes tiring. Well, that is true. Chess sometimes tough. Chess is tough. That is for sure. Yeah, yeah, Pravina Matre, you're right. Navirat, the problem is the move order that I choose after knight f3 c5. Bishop g5 makes no sense because of queen a5. Yeah, just to make it very clear, bishop g5 here would be pretty bad because of queen a5. So that's the reason why I don't think it's possible. Next move, you can jump knight e4 and you have a great position. So e3, and let me see if you got it right. Yes, 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 yes. All of you are nearly right, but there are some people who do mention castle, some who say d6. Guys, come on. We are going to play the Fisher Spassky line, Spassky Fisher line. So you must play knight c6 so that after bd3 you can take and play d6. Remember, now you can place the pawns on the opposite color of the bishop. You can get a great position. Uh, so that's the reason why e3 doesn't seem to be great. What else? I don't like queen c2 now because somehow knight is already on f3. While you remember many lines, the knight would come from e2 to c3 in queen c2 lines. So I'm not a big fan of this move, queen c2. There could be several ways to equalize. Just thinking out from my just thinking out loud, I feel maybe take take and knight c6 looks pretty normal and decent in this position. um, but okay, maybe I can just check queen c2. What is the main move here? Maybe, I mean, just my intuition says so, but yeah, knight c6. Zeong and Aronian have played this to take and play knight c6. Okay, not bad, not bad. I'm I'm suggesting you decent moves, and black does okay. So I want to show you one of my own games. This time, not from the black side, but from the white side, and I'm actually very proud of this game because my opponent was a 2335 player. Of course, I was higher rated than him. I was around 2400 rated. But the thing was that he played g3 here. Sorry, c5 here. I played g3. Okay, and this is my preparation. Okay, for that game. So whatever I teach you, don't get too attached. Oh, he started from black side, I must not try it from white. Whatever you learn, try maximizing it. You may even learn something from black, but could make use of it from white. cd, knight d4, and now knight e4 was played by my opponent. And this is the line I'm recommending to you as black as well. If you're going to play this with black. Queen c2. The main move in this position by far is queen to d3. Everyone plays this move, and everyone was black was facing getting decent results. Actually, um, my there are two ways to play this. One is Karyakin has played often to take here, and bishop e7. This has been played often by Sergei Karyakin. The other way also is to take on c3 and play knight to c5. This has also been played by many strong players, Aronian, Anand, Navara, many of them. So you see this line actually has a lot of ways in which black can play. The main thing which will happen often in this g3 line is that white is okay to have these doubled pawns here in return for this beautiful bishop on this diagonal. This is what is going to happen more often than not. Okay, so queen c2. uh, by the way, to queen d3 we will come later and see what to do. Queen c2. My opponent here played knight into c3. I took back and he played bishop e7. So all of you in the house here, tell me what are the imbalances in this position? Who is better here, white or black? Is white better or black? And what are the imbalances in this position? Shashank Chaudhary says white is better. Okay. White, 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 white. Everyone is white. Amazing. I'm very surprised that everyone thinks white is better, because for me it's like these are double pawns. So how can white be better? Shouldn't black be better? Rakesh M says white is damn better. White is well developed, got a place bishop on amazing diagonal. Okay. Any other reasons? Anyone thinks black is better? Tinku Saha says white has bishop pair, white has double pawns, black has an open c file, king safety, valuation is equal. Yeah, kind of. I would say that this position in general should be around even, but I feel here white has a small edge. Uh, Although these are really bad pawns on a semi-open file, like you can attack it easily. I'll have my bishop nicely placed here. At the same time, white has more space. He has bishop pair, rook on, sorry, rook can come to b1, semi-open file, the other rook can come to d1, and so on. So bishop g2, he castled here. An interesting question that can be asked is, what would you do here if black plays queen to c7? Black is saying to white, I'm going to attack your pawn here. What are you going to do about it? I think the last thing you want to do here is kind of defend that pawn and slow down your development. You should be looking for more active play. So in that regard, what should white do here? Yeah, Devi Rongali, I think your what you suggested is correct. Also, Yash Gore makes sense. But now after Queen C7, what do you do? Bishop F4 is possible. Yes, it's not improbable that move, because to E5 you have Knight B5. Bishop F4, E5, Knight B5. Things start to get a bit weird here. Like this is hanging, this is hanging. Queen d3, knight b5, rook b1. Yeah, Kushal chess. I like your move. I like Kushal chess's move, which is rook b1. It's like counter-attacking move, power-packed move, and he makes a nice point, which is if you take on c4, then you can take on b7 with the rook. Much stronger than taking with the bishop. Right. So Yeah, look out for such tricks, because you have a lead in development, also more space. You must look at active moves like knight b5, bishop f4, rook b1, and so on. Okay, in the game he castled. I played castles. He played knight a6. And here I could go rook d1, which is a good move, but I played bishop to f4. Looking at those dark squares. He went d6. I jumped in, knight b5. Now, even threatening some move like, say, bishop d6, and rook d1, picking up the piece. But he went e5. I played bishop e3, knight c5. So this is a very nice square for the knight, but you can see that how I'm actually creating threats with now threatening to take on c5 because the queen would be hanging. Queen a5 was played by my opponent. Now, yeah, think for white's move. What would you do? The point was after queen b6, my idea was rook a b1. Anyway, keeping pressure like this. So he went queen a5. What should white play? Yeah, rook a b1, possible. Maybe he would go rook d8. Knight d6, yes, you can win a pawn, right? So that's what I did actually. Rook knight into d6. I didn't see anything wrong, so I took. He took rook d6. Now I'm a pawn up. Also I have the bishop pair. But now black has completed his development and he says, I'm okay to be a pawn down because after rook c8, I will have pressure down here. So rook a d1 was played. And here he played bishop. He didn't take on c4, he played rook c8. Well, my idea was if he takes bishop c4, I'll take, and take here. And toward at the end, I will be a pawn up as white. And this is precisely what is usually the problem for black. He will win one of these pawns here, but then his pawns on b7 d6 are also weak, so that way it always kind of gets difficult for black to keep everything in control. Rook c8, takes bishop d5 is what I played. Queen c7. If by the way C is bishop d5, then I have rook 1 d5 with a good position. So queen c7, and this was kind of not a happy decision for him because after bishop e6 fe6 he messes up his structure. But I was, I mean, I'm just pretty happy here in this position. Rook d7, queen e4, now attacking b7. He played rook c7. He was trying to keep as much control as possible, but it was not to be. Like b6, I went rook b5, now attacking e5 pawn. So rook f5, and now came f4, which was a powerful strike. a6, rook e5, queen e5, queen takes c4. And now I think this was the move that my opponent missed. Can you find it? White to move and win. What should white play here? Aha. There are some super chats, which is very nice to see. Satyendra Prasad has contributed. Thank you so much, Satyendra. Reginald Robinson says, Howdy Sagar, thank you, very OP. Well, Reginald, thank you for staying up so late in the US. I know that there are several people from United States watching this, Shashank as well, and I'm sure there are many more. If you can just let me know who you are, then I can give you a shout out. But to stay awake late in the night and watch this shows your incredible love for chess and learning. So keep it up. Who is Well, I keep getting a lot of messages these days saying, "Make me the moderator, make me the moderator." Well, I believe that moderator is something that has to be earned, not just you get that. For example, right now the moderators we have are working hard. Like they are making sure there are no spamming. They make sure that they are there. It's really That's why they have some privileges. They can block people, they can ban people. So I don't think that anyone and everyone can become a moderator. It's The idea is to keep this stream as clean as possible, and so I can check only the answers. Dante Sans from the West Coast. Hi, Dante. Who else is here? I think I saw. Yeah, Dante Sans. Meet Doshi from the US. Yes, all of you who said F5, that is perfect. Because I think this was the move he missed. He takes That's a mate. That's what he had missed. And so he played King F7. Now I had calculated that the king and pawn ending was winning. Of course, I have an extra pawn. His king was active, but it couldn't win my pawns. Like if he goes here, I go king d2 back, and I'm fine. So b5, king d3, at g5, h4, takes, e4, and you can see that here I'm way too quick. If he goes king d5, I have king f4, and I'm winning this game. So that was a some kind of a semi introduction to this entire system as white, but also with black. You have certain ideas. After g3, I want you to take on d4, and after knight d4, I want you to play knight to e4. Now, if he plays queen c2, let's look at first queen d3, because I believe that this move is pretty popular. You keep control on the d4 square as well. So now I recommend queen to a5. That's what I recommend. I don't know if there are some recent games that have been played in this line, but doesn't seem like too many have been played. There are some lines, some games have been played. There is some Victor Gazic game. Okay, knight b3 is one move. That's the main move. And now what should black play here? Black to move. Edwin Glass says, sorry for coming late like always. What should black do here? Bishop into c3, yes. Knight into c3. Well, bishop c3, maybe just bc3. Queen f5 says Ilamparthi. Abhinav Bhatt also says queen f5. Yes, that's an interesting move. Actually, let's have a look at it. It has been played before. Queen f5. threatens to take, and f3 is bad because of knight into c3, when actually black is the one who is just completely better in this position. So queen e3 becomes the main move here. And there are a few games. I think recent one is Amartu Shin versus Lalit, which continued knight c6. Bishop g2, and now Lalit played the move knight d6. Actually, the main line has been knight c3, bc3, and so on. And once again, this position is complicated. If you want to try explore this, please do so. I think it's not bad. It should be playable for black. What I recommend here is to take knight into c3, and yes, it looks completely illogical because you are losing a queen. But think again, after knight into a5, what's the problem? How does black continue? Black to move. Shout out to Kalash Shah. Says you are just a great personality, you are amazing and you teach so well. Discovered you from Samai streams but now follow you everywhere. New addiction chess. Kalash, thank you so much. This is actually an idea, that uh, Samay is trying to popularize chess. He is able to bring in more people to this game, which is fantastic. And if you guys get hooked onto it, then well, you must learn it further. And then there are resources like Chess India from which you can keep learning. So I would say Sama is doing fantastic, getting new people on board, and then many of you are hooked on to chess. Yep, knight e4 is right, all of you. Absolutely, knight e4. And now if king d1, there is knight f2, then I take on d3, followed by taking here. So bishop d2 is the main move. And now I take bishop d2. And he must take because king d1, then knight f2 again, check. So queen d2, knight d2, king d2, and here let's say knight c6, take c6, and it's I think both the recaptures should be okay, but dc6, and I think black is at least equal. No real issues here. So that's the reason why taking the queen on a5 leads to just a equal position. So he must play the move knight bishop d2. And the question is, what would you play here as black? Because now it's like your queen is hanging, your knight is ready to be recaptured. So what do you do? Here's a good move for black. Come on, find it. Black to move. Black, how should black come out of this kind of messy situation with a nice move? Why d takes c6? Why shouldn't we capture towards the center? That's a good question, Shashank. Let's have a look. Why not this move? Can anyone tell me why not b into c6? Let's try to understand. It looks normal, but of course it's not. Yes, all of you, for the previous move 94 is absolutely right. Well done. Excellent. We'll come back to it, but first, what does black do here? Sorry, white do here? Any suggestions in this position? Yes, Geeta Ritesh, you are right. Absolutely. Yeah, no, not just open file for the rook, but as so many people have rightly said, c5 move, fixing this entire structure. is the main reason why this is not good. You can't play d5 or d6 because of taking on cd6 en passant. And also, I mean, just the very fact that you can put your maybe king here, play b4, double on the d file. This already seems like white is pretty much pushing here. So that's why d into c6. And now c5 is not so powerful. I just go e5, bishop e6, king e7, rook d8, and black is at least even. So coming back, we were actually looking at this position here, where after knight b3 we took here, and now bd2 was played. We know knight a5 is around equal, but bd2, what should black do? And all of you rightly pointed out, knight to e4. Well done. It's the same thing. If you take here, bishop d2 leads to the same position. So the main move here is queen into e4, bishop d2, knight d2. And somehow this pin is a little bit tense for white because he can't castle later on. He has to waste a tempo. Okay, so here castles looks good. Just castling. Bishop g2 seems fine. Now you go knight c6. Again, looks pretty natural and normal. And here queen e3. And this is the position which I want you to think about a bit, because I'm recommending the move d5 here. CDED would mean that although this is an isolated pawn, black has solved most of his problems because the bishop is out. So d5, and now white plays castles. That is the main move. And now you go d4, queen d3, and e5. And this is the one of the main positions. I have not been speaking about a word in opening preparation which I should do today. It's known as tabia. Okay, tabia, tabia. What does it mean? Let's try to understand from Wikipedia, which says tabia, a position in the opening of a game that occurs after a sequence of moves that is heavily standardized and from which the players have many possible moves again. So in a way, you can say any position that we discussed in depth in the opening with many options for both sides is known as tabia. Okay, it means that it is one of the building blocks of a position. Okay, so try to think here, who do you think is better in this position, and come up with a decent move for white. What should white play here? Just give me a second, I'll be back. White to move. Yeah, sorry everyone for that small break. I just needed to get something to drink. Black is better, is what everyone says. Not really. I mean, this is definitely a complex position with chances for both sides. The thing which has been very difficult for me these days is to maintain my stamina. I don't know how many of you feel tired, but when I was young, I used to play badminton, and at that point, I used to get physically quite tired, so I had to build up my physical stamina. Then, while playing chess, of course, physically you get drained, but also mentally, so I had to build up my mental stamina for that. And now I think it's a new phase of life for me where I'm streaming and I'm talking, uh, and it seems to me like I need to do something to increase my talking stamina because I get really tired after talking continuously. Martin Helseth Oskandel says f4 gives white a small edge. Yes, Martin, I also, if not in this position, it was somewhere else where I saw f4 was very strong. Actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, it was after. Yeah, I remember that e5 and rook d8 are two options here. And after e5, a3, uh, black usually plays, say, f5. And this is what I thought should give black a very good position. But then I saw b4, queen c7, uh, maybe bishop d5 also check here, king h8. And I think it is in this position that I think I found a novelty while I was preparing. Let me just confirm with the engine. Yeah, exactly here. It was, let's see if anyone can find it without the engine. You can't see it, so white to move and get an advantage. Aditya, e3 would be met with e4, not in this position. I think you were saying somewhere before. E3 would be met with e4 and then d3. Mayur, yes, what you have sent me, I'm definitely trying to. I'll try that out. Thank you for the suggestions about what to drink. Sumedh, f4 here would be met with e4, and I think black is okay. Not e4. The e4 has been played by, sorry, has been played by strong players here. Uh, I mean, has been played in two games. But the right move is actually bishop into c6, b into, or queen into, doesn't matter, f4. And I think white is better because if you take here, I take back with the rook, and you're going to lose this pawn. If you play e4, that's why I took here, so that now d4 pawn is hanging. And so that's the reason why I think this line with f5 doesn't make sense to me. Uh, f4 directly here also is possible, as Martin said, but I think not sure. I mean, I feel like black should be okay here. Maybe something like g6 is what the engine suggests, or sometimes rook d8. But yeah, it's quite possible that White has a small edge. Maybe could explore the move g6. Knight b3, queen c7, fe, bishop f5, attacks the queen, queen d2, queen e5, and yeah, possible to play this. I mean, in the game, bishop c6, bc6, queen d4 was played, uh, but I think after queen to e7, it seems like black has some compensation here for the missing pawn. So this is definitely one way to play. If you don't like this f4 ideas, then maybe it's possible to chuck e5 in this position and to actually go rook d8. This is also a playable one, and there are many games that have been played here. Maybe white is again having a small edge, but it should not kind of deter you from this line. I mean, it's a playable kind of a line. Knight e5, queen e4, queen into d2, queen into e5, and also possible. I would request you to look at this a bit more deeply if you want to play this. Yeah, so that's about this one. I think this position e5 a3 is the main move, and instead of f5, I think you can try for some other options here, which is rook d8 is one move that I think is possible. Bishop e6 is one move that's possible. Coming back with the queen to c7 is also possible. It should be okay. There's one question where he says, what if white starts with one e4 instead of d4, then what will we do? Well, in general, we'll cover that opening, but right now we are focusing on e4, yeah? Okay, let's look at another move here, which is queen to c2. Once again, I recommend here the move queen a5, which is possibly interesting. You play bg2, and now you take on c3, and white plays castles. This is really a very nice line. The main point here is that you cannot save the knight, which is very surprising because you have moves like knight a4 possible in the position. Also, you can win a pawn with knight e2, but after knight takes e2, queen takes e2, that's a big positional advantage. You can see these beautiful pieces for white, while black is still slightly undeveloped. So, therefore, don't take on e2, don't move the knight, because even if it goes to a4, then after, let's say, a3, bishop e7, knight b5, or even b4, seems like white is just better, because this knight to save it is very difficult, and I don't know what white can do. For example, queen a6, knight b5, bd8, bishop g5 is a powerful stroke, or bishop f4 is also good. So bishop g5, trying to deflect this bishop from the defense of the c pawn, and if f6, now bishop f4. If you go e5, then bishop e3, and you will see that yes, white is a piece down, but does it matter? This is bad piece, bad piece, bad piece here, and overall white is doing very much better. Yeah, so what I would recommend is that after castles, don't try to save the knight, just go for development. Yeah, simple development, and so that we play with knight to c6. Now he takes, B takes C3. The question is, what should we do here? Jyoti, he says, Jyotisha, I forgot Manan Shah, I think. Every time I prepare myself to play Nimzo, my opponent plays London. We learn everything. We learn everything. Okay, bishop c3, I'll take. Now I'm attacking your rook as well as the knight. So only really good move is knight b3, attacking your queen. And now if you play queen e5, which saves the bishop for sure, but after rook b1, getting a little bit dangerous, for black, because white is threatening bishop f4, and overall the development is slow. So what should you do here as black? Black to move. What would be black's move in this position? Black to move. Manas Shah. Okay. Black has a good move here, which helps him to at least come closer to equality. Yeah, knight d4. That is true. Knight takes knight. Bishop takes knight. Now rook b1. You must protect your rook. And here comes a very important moment in the game as to how you would continue. What should black play here? Well, the point is, if you go, say, castles, now I play rook b5, which is strong move, queen c7, and here queen d3, bishop c5. Now white has a very powerful move, which is rook takes, queen takes, and bishop a3 with a clear advantage. So therefore, what you should be doing is that instead of wasting time castling, you must play d6 or bishop c5. Both look good here. Even this is a fine move. So the reason is that after d6, if he plays rook b5, I'll play queen c7. And if he goes, say, something like rook d1, then I have this powerful move, which is bishop c5, and now everything is nicely protected and I can castle. That is what gives black a good position. So my suggestion to all of you is that if you're going to play this line, try to get your bishop to c5 and pawn to d6 and keep this structure intact. Castle is not going to help you because after rook b5, queen c7, you have queen d3 and there is no way to get this, and that's the reason why instead of castle you can begin with either bishop c5 or you can play d6, rook b5, and get a playable position. This is a better position for black. Yeah, Reginald, the reason for bishop a3, let's say you play queen c7, is after takes you have development advantage, and so at least also concretely you're winning at 7 pawns. So all of this leads to a good position. Yeah, you can play queen to f5, but now after bishop e4, queen h5, bishop f8, king takes, bishop f3, and Black is okay. I mean, white is doing much better here. Black is in big trouble actually. Queen e5, queen into h7, and white is better. I was just thinking if queen h6, it's too passive. You can go rook b1, develop a piece, and be better here. Okay, so I think that covers up just about all the lines in the Nimzo, and we have looked at several of them. Let's try to revise a bit, shall we? I think it would be useful and it would also help you to learn a bit about all that we have seen till now. Yeah, are you ready for this? Let me know in the comment section if you are ready for a revision so that you can solidify the knowledge which you already have. Are you ready? Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. Great. Aditya Krishna says, why wasn't bishop takes rook played instead of bishop takes knight? Can you tell me? Ah, you mean after knight d4? Okay, if you take bishop into a1, then there is knight b5, I think, or even knight b3. Just then you have queen c3. Yeah, but queen c3, queen b1. Yeah, just to clarify this. After this, yeah, here knight d4 takes, and now if you take here, I think just simply knight b3 wins because after queen c3, queen b1, this bishop is trapped. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Som Kulkarni, who says, I'm Ashish Kulkarni. I have mailed you as you said earlier. Please check the mail. Thank you. Sure, Ashish, I will have a look at it and get back to you. Shashank, good night. Yeah, it has been quite a long day. Let's try to revise this. I was making moves, but maybe they didn't come on the board. Sorry. Let me see if I can bring it up. Yeah, I was actually pointing towards here queen a5, bishop g2, knight c3, castles, knight c6, takes, knight b3, knight d4 takes, and now if bishop a1, I have knight b3, queen c3, queen b1. That was the point. Winning the bishop on a1. And then you'll have two pieces for a rook. Okay, let's revise. Let's see if how many of you remember stuff. This is interesting. What should black play here? So the move order was d4 and f6, c4 e6, and c3 bishop g4, bb4 bishop g5, c5, and now e3. What should black play? Just so that you can know in your mind. Akash Kulkarni. Okay. Sorry, Som Kulkarni, your name is Akash. I'll have a look at it. Yeah, Geeta Ritesh, you are right. Queen A5. That is absolutely right. Sumed, Geeta Ritesh, Maria Almeida, Omkar Brahmabhat, Ilam Parthi. Well done. Queen to A5, and that is a good move. Suddenly the bishop starts looking funny. This is sorry. This is hanging. Knight E4 can come in. Okay. Now let's say D5, 6, bishop H4 takes. What should black play here? Black's move. Do you remember this position? Black to move. Another important moment. Sumedh, if I had to turn on the slow mode, that would mean that there would be less chats, and then there's no point of having a moderator. Yes, so I think the main thing is to let people write what they would like, but if someone is spamming, then to remove them from there. So I think I don't know whether I should switch on the slow chat or not. Dipen Patel, I'll start Sicilian defense in maybe another few days. We are first finishing d4 with black, and then we'll move to e4 with black. So another 3 days or 4 days. Yeah. Yes, king d8. Well done, guys. You remember what was taught. Put the king on c7 where it will be well placed, and then you can play g5, knight d7. You remember the game Gokhale versus Sagar. Also, we saw Timon short, Yusupo short. Yes, Yusupo short, and Spassky versus Kolmov. Yeah. Okay, let's look at another position. It's a nice one actually, which we saw that day here. Strong move. Let's see if you remember it, and also tell me the name of the players here. So this was reach this position, and now black to move. What should black play? Haha. Reginald Robinson has already found the move before I asked. Nice. You could read my mind, yeah, that this is what I'm going to give. Yeah. H4 is a powerful move. You can see there's a pin here. Yusupo short, yes, very right. Yusupo was a short H4, and if Rook H4, you have EF, GF, and Knight takes D5. Okay, so let's look at another position now. I think I need 200 replies for this. All those who are here, I want 200 replies from you because I know that you would know this. What should black play? Pranav Srinivasan, thank you so much, and he's asked me to check LinkedIn. Well, I will definitely do that, and we will get back to you. Thank you, Pranav. What is the move here? Can you tell me? Yes, excellent. Knight e8 is absolutely right. All those who said knight e8, very good. You are amazing. Do you remember the game? Who was white? Capablanca, yes, was black. Who was white? Yes, yes. Johnner Capablanca, Shivam Chaudhary, well done. but it is Johner. Yes, Johnner. Well done. 98. Stopping bishop g5 and preparing to meet f4 with later on f5. That's how you remember it. Good. I'm not going to ask you more questions on that line where he goes f4, f5 and all of that. You know it already. Um, yeah. Let's see what next. Can I ask you? Yeah, this is a good game. Maybe I can ask you a couple of questions here because so many instructive moments. This was my game with Vaibhav Suri. So the first moment was here when he went 98. Then castles, bishop a6, f4, and now black to move. What would you play? Black to play. Ankit Rawat, thank you so much. And he says, I want to be associated with Chess Base India to help promote chess. I've also sent you DM on Instagram. Thank you so much, Ankit. Write to us more about yourself. You know, we are always looking out for people who would be interested in promoting chess. But you know, most of the times people are just well done, Nandan. You have written the right answer. Knight Joner Capablanca perfectly with 98. Good. We are always looking out for people who are interested to promote chess and work with us, but most often times we find people who are like very excited at the go, but then when it really starts getting tough, because you know it's not all about um, fun and all of that. There are always moments of fun, but there's always the times when you have to work very hard. Like for example, there will be so many things to do. So in general, if we do find someone who's worth working with us, then remember it'll be work as general, but it'll be chess related work. So if you enjoy chess, that would be fun. Yes, f5, absolutely right. That is the right move. Um, Blocking the pawn, d5, knight a5, e5, and now black to move. What would you play here? Black to play. Do you remember this game? Sagar versus, do you remember? He was not yet a GM, now he's a GM, but who is my opponent? Black to move. What should black do here? Yes, Sumedh, you're right. Yash, absolutely. Geeta Ritesh, Raman Chandrekar, Manav Shah, well done. Shivendra, Ramdas Velia. Yes, Sumedh, you are right. It was Vaibhav Suri. Excellent. Who was not a GM yet, but was young and talented. D6 is the correct move. The point being that if you take on C4, bishop takes, knight takes, I have the move D6, which gives me very good compensation because of this knight. Yeah, the young Vaibhav Suri, absolutely right. Okay, let me see what else do I have for you. Nice. This is a nice game. I must test you a bit here. Let me see if someone can get it right. Maybe from the opening perspective, let me ask you the question. What should white play in this position? White to move. What should white play? And which famous game had this structure? Can you tell me? White to move. Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely right. I think all of you remember stuff very well. The point is, in such openings, it is important not to place your knight on f3, but rather on e2, so that you can play f3, knight g3, and e4 at a later date. Yeah. So this is what was in the game Botvinnik versus Capablanca. This happened in Abro 1938. Yeah, absolutely. Rahul Kadge, you are right. Also, Ilam Parthi, you are right. There was a key moment in the game, which we had discussed last time, but still. White to move and win. What do you do here? White to move. What should white play? Yes, bishop a3. Absolutely right. Bishop goes to a3, attacks the queen. Queen must take, and then comes the spectacular check. Have to take, check, and then take, and then this is completely winning position for. Yeah, Capablanca managed to avoid the check. Sorry, Botvinnik managed to avoid the checks and went on to win the game. Okay, so you guys remember most of the stuff. Let me see if you remember this one. This will be interesting actually. Maybe I have not yet shown you this. So this was Volkov versus Bruzon. We've seen this line already. Rook b1. We spent a lot of time looking at king f2, I think, knight d7, queen b3, queen c7, and then a4, if you remember. This is what we were looking at. Sorry, not this. Uh, Knight fd7, king f2, knight fd7, queen b3. Yeah, but now queen c7 is good. I don't know. No, the line which we had looked at was not king f2, perhaps. Yeah, maybe queen b3. That's what we looked at. Yeah, directly. Knight d7 and a4. And then if you take this queen b4, so you must go back, and then queen a3. And what was the move here? Black to move. Let's see if you remember your stuff. This was the Zamish system. Chess Masters has a question which is, I want to develop in chess, but my 10th standard studies interrupt me every time when I play chess. What I dislike is people all the time saying something is interrupting. You know, no matter what you are or how strong you become, something or the other will always interrupt you in life. Be it your 10th standard studies, be it your parents, be it your wife, be it your girlfriend, be it your husband, whatever it is, something is going to interrupt in your chess. So learn to embrace that and try to find ways in it, rather than saying, okay, this is tough, should I leave this, should I leave that. Try to see what you can do. Yeah, don't be so upset about things. Yes, b6, very good. It's a very perfect pawn sacrifice in this position, and if you take, I can take back with a with good compensation. Bishop could come to a6, knight can jump to c5, also knight c6, knight a5. Black is doing absolutely fine. Now, rook b1 was played in this game. Knight d7, king f2. Now knight c5 is impossible because of rook b5. So rook d8, queen b3, queen c7, now threatening to take here. Rook d1. What do you play here as black? I think this is one move is b6 that you already know. But is there any other way black should play here? Black to move. Black to move. What should black play here? Not knight c5 because rook d8, queen d8, bishop c5 is a free piece. It's not easy. No one is going to get this answer, yeah. It's tricky. Move. In fact, it's the only move to get a complete equal position. Come on, who can find it? Black to move. Not knight a6. If you play knight a6, there are many ways. Bishop a6, ba6, queen c4. Already white is pressing there. Nidish Govarkar. Nidish Govikar has found it. Govekar. Good job, Nidish. The right move is rook to f8. Just moving the rook away, threatening this. You don't want to put it on e8 because bishop b5 could come and pin the knight. But rook f8 is a nice move. Queen b5 and now b6. Anyway, opening up the position. And black has beautiful position. I think even a pawn down doesn't matter. His knights are well placed. And he has rook doubling coming up on the a5. So black is much better here. Okay, let's have a look at something else. Trying to show you stuff which we have already seen together. Tell me which game was this and what is the best move for black. Who was my opponent? Who is white? I was black. What's the best move for black in this position? You see knight on a6 is hanging, so you must save it. Yeah, Sumed, you are right. Sumed is doing a good job. He's taking care of the chat and he's also looking at the position, learning. Very nice. Yes, Nitish, you're right. This is Bhakti versus Sagar, and e5 is the correct move. The point is, after takes, to play knight c5, attacking the queen and winning the game. So you must maybe say take here, but then after ed4, once again, it's a winning position for black. Okay, so that came from e3 ng e2 line, yeah, that one. I think just about covered everything. There were some lines in queen c2 which were not covered, but let's have a look at them because that was important. One thing which I forgot to tell you is after d4, c4, e6 and c3, bishop b4, queen c2, castles, or maybe you play d5, a3 takes c5. So there's no time actually here. Um, what if I play castles? e4, d5, e5, knight e4, bishop d3, c5, knight g2, take, knight d7, bishop f4. And what should basically be black's plan here in this position? Black has a pretty good position, but how should he continue? What should be black's move? Black to move here. What should you do? Yeah, Shinoy, Sagar Shinoy is right. Yash Gaur, you're right. Also Kushal chess, knight d5, castles, take on c3, pawn takes c3. And now what was the move that I had suggested for black? Black to move. What do you play here as black? Anyone? Yes, Nitish. Nitish, have you made some notes already? Because you are right about everything. It's very nice, very impressive. Not queen a5. Queen a5 would be a bad mistake actually in this position because queen a5 will be met with say cd, ed, and maybe just c4 when white is slightly better. So not queen a5, but yes, Shivam Chaudhary, you are right. Shri Devi, you are right. Lalitaditya Nair Bomanathan is right. Mandar Bakshi, you are right. BD7 is the correct move. And then after bishop e2, you have knight a4. And then you can take on c3 or play rook c8 with pressure down the c file here. Black is just doing pretty fine. Okay, so that was about queen c2. We also looked at queen c2, a gambit line, if you remember, which was very interesting. Where here after queen c2, castles, he plays a3, and then after take take, you go b5 takes. What's the next move here? Let's just, for the last time, try to understand. Next move for black. What should he play? Ramdas Veliath, you're right. Ushanina versus Hoye Fan was the last one. True. Black to move. Okay, Reginald, yes, please go to sleep and see you tomorrow. C6, yes, absolutely right. C6 is the move. And then you take knight takes, that is better for black, already very comfortable. So the main move after c6 is bishop g5, take e3, bishop b7, attacking here so that b5 cannot be taken, knight f3, h6, so that if bishop f6, queen f6, again there is a lot of pressure down to f3 point, and so bishop h4 should be played here. And now after a6, seems like the position is slightly better for white, maybe around equal, playable basically for both sides. So that's how we kind of revised Nimzo Indian a bit. I hope that you remember everything. If you have any questions related to it, please write to me at chessbaseindia@gmail.com. I'll get back to you. And my plan is next uh, to go for knight f3 lines tomorrow. So we've seen knight c3 here already, but we should look at knight f3 with the idea of playing what should we do here. I'm going to cover two moves, bishop b4 check and d5, and this is what we will look at tomorrow. Yeah, so let's call it a day today. I hope that you had a good time, um, and I will see you guys tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can ask me here. I will respond to your questions for a few minutes, and then I'll take your leave. By the way, for all those who want to become a good trainer, there is a trainers workshop, that is FIDE trainer seminar, that is being held on Chessbase by Chessbase India, which will be held from 29th. Today is the last day for submission. So do consider if you want to take part in that. Um, like here, if you see, this is the seminar on chessbase.in. You can participate from here. And also there is a free, no entry fee Blitz chess tournament that is happening. And all you have to do is fill up this form and you can play there. And some very strong players have already confirmed their participation. I think we've crossed nearly 100 players. The first 500 will be allowed, and after that we'll close the entries. It is actually a tournament organized by King's Chess Academy, so a big thanks to them for organizing this. Okay, good. Let's see who has some questions. Well, today I have no thumbnail story. I didn't make a thumbnail. It's yesterday's thumbnail. uh, but I like the hoodie that I've worn here with Chess Base India. Kushal Shah says, when you cannot make correct arrows, that means you're tired. Sagar Shah, yeah, that's true. Actually, back to back streams are very tough, I feel. It's just also when you are trying to teach and look at the chat, and also it's a lot. But yeah, you found that if I can't make a right arrow, like a rook coming to c8 instead of that, if I make something else. I am tired. Mm, Mayur, as much as I'd love to have your class tomorrow, please consider resting for at least one of the daily streams. Well, in general, from 29th to 31st, when the FIDE seminar would take place, I think I would give a break. So, in general, tomorrow I don't want to do it for the next couple of days. I want to continue. Yes, I will check Jayant Rao Valluri's games. Thank you, Sumedh, for that. Pushkar Patel says, please suggest three books for intermediate level chess players must read. I think three books would be Reassess Your Chess, Silman's Endgame Course, and can I suggest DVDs instead of books? I would say Power Play series, especially start from Power Play 1 to 5. They are beautiful. Okay, good. Sagar, you have played many online games and one with Nimzo. That is good to know. Very good to know. We did not write what we have learned today. Well, in general, we learned about G3 system, which was nothing too much. So I'm not going to write that. Also, we revised everything. So I recommend all of you to go over this, what we have written here. Let me see. Yeah, just go over that whenever you have free time. Pause the video and try to look at this entire stuff so that you know what you have to learn. Okay. All right. So then let's call it a day for today and see you guys tomorrow or maybe tonight. I don't know what's happening, but we will meet soon. Bye bye.